Good morning, good evening, and good night. I am your host, Raven Ashton. Welcome to another episode. Today, we're talking about wealth. Why? Because wealth is something that is truly important for me. And I've decided that my word for this year, it's a new year. Oh my gosh, Happy New Year, folks. Happy New Year is 2025. And last year, I decided I was going to have a word for my year. And my word for last year was joy. And so everything that I did, the way life was dictated, was through the lens of joy. So I've decided this year, my word that is really going to help dictate my year and really years to come is going to be wealth. Okay. And so when we start talking about wealth over here, we're not just talking about wealth and how we tend to think about wealth. We talk about wealth in all aspects, wealth in terms of our mental, our physical, but let's be honest, our pockets. Okay. So when it comes to wealth for me right now, what's in my pocket is most important. And have you noticed when you start talking about finances and things of that nature that really other things in your life, like your health and your overall well-being, really starts to fall into place? Why? Because you really start to prioritize money around things that are really important for you. And you start to prioritize those things. So when you start prioritizing wealth, money, and finances, know that other things in your life will start to get in order, right? When you really make that a priority. But really, we're all on this wealth building journey together because I haven't really figured it out. I don't know if you guys have figured it out, but I am here to help myself. And I hope as I'm helping myself that it'll be helping you too. You know, really, I'm calling things that happen in life that really is like, oh my gosh, kind of like our wake up calls, right? I'm calling those pivotal moments, right? So about a little over a year ago, we had a significant loss in our family. And this loss was my aunt had went to Africa and tragically passed away. And in that moment, there was a huge financial need from our family where we had to get her remains from Africa. So we're talking about $7,000 to $10,000 of dollars was needed. Right. And really, in the grand scheme of things, let's be honest here, people, what is $7,000 to $10,000? We're not talking about no real money. But we was talking about real money when it came to my family, because at that time, no one in my family had the ability to flip the whole bill. And I'm thinking to myself in that moment of tragedy, in the moment of grief, I was so frustrated and so infuriated because I wasn't the person that could cut the check for when my family was in need. So I knew that in that moment, I was like, yeah, Raven, you got you and your family messed up. We got ourselves messed up because we're supposed to be in better positions to handle situations of the sort, right? When you have a certain level of education, a certain level of know-how, a certain types of abilities, you believe you're supposed to be able to solve problems. I'm like a master problem solver. Like if there is a problem in front of me, Lord knows I want to fix it. And the fact that I did not have the right solution to that problem, that really bothered me and disturbed me. And I knew that there was other things that I needed to do in my life in order for me to be the person to what? Hashtag cut the check. Okay. That's my new hashtag. Hashtag cut the check. Who in your family is cutting the check when your family really needs it? So I was like, I never want me, myself personally, and my family to experience that kind of financial burden again. So in this episode today, we're going to talk a little bit about why does wealth matters to me? Like, why is it mattering right now more than what I've already discussed? And where do I stand? What is my current net worth status? I ain't gonna say I got all that figured out, but I got a little bit of details to share and, to be a little bit more transparent in terms of what's the current status? What are we looking like? Where am I going? And what steps am I going to take to get there? So hopefully sit down, relax, grab some pen and some paper, drop some notes in the comments as you are watching, because like I said, at the end of the day, I am learning and growing in this. So I don't have the answers. I say that all the time. I realize I say that all the time because I want to be for real and let people know that I am not here to share all of the answers. There's some things that I have learned that I'm looking to impart some wisdom, but I'm also looking to gain wisdom. So as much as we are building and connecting on these platforms, I hope that you are seeing yourself as an asset and a resource to me to help a sister out, because all of this is new to me. So let's jump right into it. Why does wealth matters to me? So wealth matters to me because when I hear wealth, and again, we talking about the wealth that's in our pockets, we'll start there first. So when I hear wealth, I hear first financial freedom. Okay, I'll be a fool to say that I did not want financial freedom. I'll be a fool. Of course I want that. I want to be able to do what I want, when I want to do it, without any worry. I don't want to have those concerns. Okay, so if I want to catch a flight, goddamn, I want to catch a flight. All right, if I want to put some money away for a rainy day, I want to be able to put money away for a rainy day. Okay, if I want to buy a goddamn crew neck that's designer, that's part of the goal. Okay, I like crew necks, and I want a designer crew neck, and I want to be able to buy one today and not feel guilty for buying one. Because can I buy one today? I could. And I'll be looking at myself like a fool. Raven, who do you think you are spending $1,200 on a crew neck? You thought you was somebody that you wasn't. Okay, but in my head, I'm supposed to be there. It's about building generational wealth so that the money goes well beyond me. You know, my idea of generational wealth, I'm going to be honest with y'all. My idea of generational wealth was ensuring that my son had it. So initially, my goal has always been, and why do I pick this number? I don't know. It sounds good. Okay. $1 million sound good. So in my mind, I said, okay, I'm going to leave my son with $1 million in assets. That's what I have been working towards. That my son has $1 million in assets. So in terms of generational wealth, it only looked like that for me. Why $1 million? Hell, I don't know. I just told you. I just picked an arbitrary number. All right. $1 million sounded like real official. But I hadn't been thinking about, what about my son's children? What about my cousin's children? What about my sister's children? Right? And so I'm just now being put in this position, in this new light where I'm really starting to dream bigger. And the idea of generational wealth is so much larger. So if it's so much larger for me, it has to matter that much more because there's so much more work that needs to get done. And I also understand that, you know, sometimes we're looking, especially when we're looking at our family, and we're like, well, how come we're not doing this? How come we're not doing this? Why they not doing this? Why they not doing that? I've been having to check myself on that a lot lately. And I've been really using the quote, you know, the infamous Spider-Man quote, with great leadership comes great responsibility. So if not you, Raven, then who? And so I understand my purpose. I understand my drive, and I understand the daily habits that I've been able to really commit to and dedicate to in order to really see something through. So wealth matters to me because I understand that I have the ability to execute on the task that's in front of us. So because I really truly live by a mantra in regards to my decision making. When I make a decision that I'm going to do something, I decide, commit, and follow through. Like, I don't know if that makes sense for other people, but it's been making sense for me ever since I make that a mantra. Soon as I make a decision, I decide and I commit and I follow through. And this is how I'm able to see the results of whatever decision I have put in place. So these are the reasons why wealth matters to me at this moment in my life. And, you know, something else I wanted to call out, because this is a term that I learned in college in community development. Time, place, and conditions. Time, place, and conditions matters for everything. So there could not have been a better time. There could not have been a better place. There could not have been a better condition that has set Raven up today in this very moment to make wealth a priority. And I say that for anybody who might be watching this, who might think about, well, it could be me or it should have been me years ago. No, if it's you because it's you now in this very moment. Now is the time. All right. So where do I currently stand in this whole grand scheme of thing when we're talking about wealth? Like, let's be honest here. This is something I've been talking a lot about this with people in my inner circle, that and when I say we, you know what I mean by we. Yeah, we're not having a lot of open conversations about money. Why? Because for me, I know why I wasn't having conversations about money. Fear and shame. Okay, we'll start with shame. Because I think a lot of us carry shame when it comes with money. Shame of how we spend money, shame of what money we don't got, shame of the money we still owe other people. Okay, all of those are things that we all feel very shameful about, right? Shame because we just don't got it the way we feel like we might supposed to have it. And I was like, I don't want to live in shame anymore. I don't want to live in shame. And I don't want to be scared of money. Like, me being scared of money, me being scared to talk about money, me being scared to track my money, me being scared to look at my money, that is not going to help me build the wealth that I'm trying to build right now. So I had to face my fears. And what I started to do this maybe about 3 years ago. Really, this started 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I opened up Google Spreadsheet. And I decided I'm going to write down all of my monthly expenses. Now, this is sounds so basic to do. It sounds very basic. It sounds like pretty much a standard that a lot of people should have, but apparently a lot of us ain't doing that. A lot of us don't visually have any kind of template, any kind of spreadsheet, any kind of notebook, any kind of piece of paper where we done written down how much money goes out every month. So I've been keeping a spreadsheet of my monthly expenses for about 3 years. Now, we're not talking about a real budget. I'm not going to even kid y'all. We're not going to talk about a real budget. We're talking about just expenses. But what has always been an element of my expenses has been savings. Always, maybe in the last 2 years for sure, okay? So a part of my monthly expenses is savings. So I consider savings as like a bill, all right? Another bill, quote unquote bill, that's very optional, that is a part of my whole net worth, is savings for my son. So I have a college investment account. That is a Maryland 529 account for my son. That is a line on my monthly expenses. So those things that could be quote unquote optional, I have made. No, these are monthly requirements and monthly bills. So we put that on our tracker sheet. So that has been really good just for me to visually see every month how much money is going out. Now, even that's kind of questionable, right? Because I'm just telling you standard bills that have set amount of expenses. I have not been tracking all of my expenses, but that's okay because we're moving towards that this year. That's what we're moving towards, right? One thing that I know in regards to this road to wealth and us checking our temperature in terms of where do we stand is debt, right? Like, debt is a real thing. And I'm going to tell you what changed my life, because right now I can say happily that I am mostly debt free. Okay. The only debt I have is what they call good debt. And that's my goddamn mortgage. And Lord knows I hate paying my goddamn mortgage. Okay. But I am sitting here today saying that is literally all the debt I have. Credit card debt, please. I don't know that. I've been done when I messed up my credit post-college, living off of my goddamn credit cards. Yeah, I was done with credit card debt. We switched that around. So I don't know that life. Okay. So if you got some credit card debts, cut up the credit cards, get rid of the debt. Okay. The biggest amount of debt that I had really was student loans. I had about $115,000 in student loan debt. And I want to take this time because I have yet to do what I really been wanting to do. I really want to take this time to thank President Joe Biden, okay, for the rules adjustment for student loan forgiveness. Because let's have a moment here, okay, because student loan forgiveness changed my life. And I don't know if people, because I know there's a lot of rhetoric out there on the internet in regards to student loan forgiveness, which is crazy to me because it's crazy work to believe anyways that I had $100,000 in student loan debt. And all I'm trying to do is educate myself. I'm trying to do what the people are telling me I need to do to get good work. And I am $100,000. The fact that I had student loan forgiveness, the type of freedom that I immediately felt. Do you know I worked in public service? Like, I knew that I had to stay in nonprofit or working for government, doing some kind of public service. Well, one, that's part of my God's purpose. So let's not get it confused. But at the end of the day, I knew that my way of getting rid of my debt within 10 years was going to happen because I was in public service. So that's where that commitment was at. So because I was trying to get rid of my debt, it means that limited the type of job opportunities I was thinking about and considering. Are y'all following me? Because I wanted to get my student loans forgiven. So I went through the public service student loan forgiveness program. And going through that program, you were going to be able to get student loan forgiveness. Shout out to Joe Biden for making a little tweaks during COVID. You feel what I'm saying? So my forgiveness happened a lot sooner than I expected. And oh my gosh, the world of possibilities immediately. Immediately, you're talking about my credit score. Okay, I don't officially know my credit score today because you know why? You know why I don't know my credit score is today? Because my credit score excellent. Okay? If I did pull it up, I'm going to tell you that it's in the late 700s. If not, yeah, it's in the late 700s for sure. My credit score is excellent. It's excellent. And it became that way because one, like I said, I had a problem with credit cards when I got straight out of college. That problem didn't last so long because what Raven don't want to do is struggle financially. So we rectified that very quickly. So ain't had that problem in decades, all right? The other problem that I had, student loan forgiveness, again, shout out Joe Biden, we got rid of that thing. Okay, so you talk about breaking your own glass ceiling, all right? The limitations I had over myself because of the debt that I was carrying. Let's talk about it. The limitations that you might have on yourself because of the debt that you're carrying. If you realize that your debt is causing limitations in life, resolve the problem. We're problem solvers over here, okay? We're problem solvers over here. The next assessment is emergency savings. Now, we all followed all of these kind of financial gurus. Not even that. I get free financial planning through my employer. So I had sat down with a financial planner. This was probably 2 years ago. And he's talking to me about, I'm like just asking him questions about how do I best prepare for retirement. And the first thing that he says to me is you have to get your emergency savings where your emergency savings needs to be. You know what? I don't know who I thought I was, but I thought that I was going to be able to do differently. And so what had happened was, you already know when you said what had happened. What had happened was I didn't take his advice. I just didn't. I start putting money into emergency savings, but I still started to split the money. So not only was I putting money in emergency savings, I was putting money in investments accounts and stocks and things of that nature. And when I was getting large sums of money, I was using that money to go on vacations. That's what I've been doing. Now, sometimes I might use some of the large sums of money because I get a bonus. I'm eligible for a bonus with my employer at the end of the year. So some of that money I would use to reinvest in my house, like get something fixed in my house. I remember that first year I had to build a fence. But for the most part, lately, what we've been doing, we've been on vacations, okay? We have not been stacking money the way money needs to be stacked. So I said, Raven, you will be responsible. You will be responsible. So what I did, I created, like I said, for about a year now, I've been putting money towards an emergency savings. And I have a high yield savings account. You can go on the internet, find you a high yield savings account. It's about a 4% interest rate return. So you do want a high yield savings account so you can be making some money on your bucks. And I was putting money aside, okay? I'm going to just be honest. I was putting $300 a month aside into the emergency savings. Again, when I was getting large chunks of dollars, I was not putting those dollars away. And not only that, in my emergency savings, I'm going to say this. I was not using emergency savings as emergencies, okay? I was using it as, oh, she got a large chunk of dollars over there. So when she need to catch a flight, she pulling out the goddamn savings. You know, a lot of this has to do with like me growing up and not seeing money. Growing up, just being honest, growing up and never seeing money. So show your kids your bank accounts. I show mine. My son will tell you right now, and he loves to do it. And I love that for him, actually. He loves to tell people how much money he has in his college investment account. Now, he'll say, I got this much money in the bank, but y'all know what he mean. He loves telling people that. And that's what I want for our children. I want our children, one, to see money. Show your kids the bank account. Show them. They need to know what money looks like. So they not like me when they got an emergency savings and they got a few racks in the bank and all you want to do is grab it and take it out and go do something fun because you're not used to seeing money stack up like that. And that's me. But no, not this year. I'm done with that. So come Q1, by the end of March, I want to have my emergency savings what it needs to be. So the experts say, and I'm saying what the experts say 3 to 6 months. 6 months, y'all reaching. Right now, God damn it, we're going to start with 3 months. So right now, I'm working towards 3 months of emergency savings. That for me means I need to raise $1,100. I am $11,000 short from my emergency savings goals because I need to have 3 months of expenses. So the way I'm able to do that, and I just want to let people know so people can understand this, because that's why I said we see all these money people talk about money. We ain't see no accounts. People don't really show us, or at least from the content that I've seen, we don't show from the bottom up. We don't show from the bottom up. And I keep saying I'm using myself as a sacrificial lamb. I'm going to let people know from the bottom up, this is what it looks like. So I just told y'all, one, the only debt I have is good debt. It's my mortgage. Then two, emergency savings. I need to raise $11,000. My goal is to have that by the end of March. The reason why I'm able to do that, again, is because I know, because I do a good goddamn job at work, I'm eligible for a bonus. Okay, so we'll have a bonus and we'll also have our tax return. When those monies come in, immediately they're going into my emergency savings. Immediately. So that means that emergency savings will be done by the end of March. So now we can properly focus on what? Investments right now. I'm going to tell you right now, the investments accounts that I have right now is my what? My 401k. And yes, you better believe I'm matching to that 6% match. Okay. So make sure that you are meeting your employer with whatever the match needs to be. So if your employer is telling you you need to put 3% away into your 401k in order for them to match you 3%, you better goddamn be giving them that 3% so you can get that free money. Come on, I thought that was the basics. I didn't realize we was cheating ourselves out of the money, okay? But apparently that's a thing, okay? So right now, yes, I am matching up, just up to my employer contribution. I also, like I just told y'all, after I talked to the financial planner and he told me before I start my investing in stocks, I need to get my emergency savings. I was like, man, bump what you talking about. Okay, I'm going to do both. Yeah, and look how that has gotten me. I don't got the emergency savings the way I need to, but I did start investing in ETFs. And so currently I have about $4,100 in stocks. Funny enough, I opened up a Roth IRA last year. And I never put any money in it. I'm not going to even lie. I never put any money in it. I did not put money in it until late last year. And then I put money into it. And funny enough, I was meeting with a friend of mine who is like, who sells insurance. So I was talking to him. I'm telling him about my plans and my goals. And then we pull up the Roth IRA and he goes, well, Raven, you realize that money is just sitting in a brokerage. It hasn't yet been invested. I'm like, no shit. Okay. I was like, no, I didn't even know that. But I done figured it out how to get that done. So we now have that invested into that account. Okay, a big piece of this in terms of looking at what is your current landscape for building wealth is obviously your income. How are you bringing cash in? So currently I'm bringing cash in through my 9 to 5. So my 9 to 5 is my main source of income. Right now, this is okay. I'm about to be hella transparent. And then I'm going to go do a little caveat here in this podcast episode, okay? And talking about income. It is not enough of us being transparent with how much money we make. So how are the folks that are underneath us supposed to know? How do they assess the work that they put into a job, what it is worth. If it is not enough of us talking about it, okay? So we got to stop being scared and nervous of talking about how much money we make. I'm sorry, that's frustrating me because it's been a hard lesson for me to learn. And I am really officially, I guess, I'm like 15 to 20 years into my career. Now my income is at $137,000 a year. I have a 10% bonus, like eligibility for bonus that I get. So with my expertise, with my years of experience in my employer, I have my master's degree. I am still well underpaid. I am well underpaid for the type of work I contribute at my employer, but that's okay. That's okay, folks. We're getting that right in 2024. And shout out to my homegirl who really helped me to advocate for myself. And so right now today, with my salary where I'm at, I can't even be mad at me. I mean, sorry, I am mad at me. I was supposed to say, I can't even be mad at them. You know why I can't be mad at my employer? Because technically I was in position to quote my rate. So in some instance, in a lot of instances, really in my whole career up until 3 years ago, I never valued really my salary to what I was putting in at work, if that makes sense. Like I never fully appreciated my effort and how much that should cost an employer. I never did. I never even really knew how to advocate. I was never bold. I was never brave enough to do that. I never knew that you should maybe request a desk audit. I never knew that you should go to talk to HR and ask for a compensation review. I'm dropping some little gems, some little dimes that I have learned, okay? Because there is a lot of us underpaid, okay? And some of us don't even know that we're being underpaid because why? We don't even know what the counterparts are making. We don't know. And I'm tired of that. I was like, what's the harm? What's the harm? Be shameful for what, Raven? Be shameful for what? I'm not shameful, okay? Because I understand where I've been and I now know where I'm going. So that is my income, but I'm looking for new ways. I want passive income. I know I need passive income. I want other ways to figure out how to make money outside of my 9 to 5. Overall, what is my vision for this wealth building journey? Really, what does this look like for me? And this is the big picture. I want to be a millionaire. I don't want to be a millionaire tomorrow. I'm giving myself 10 years. I got 10 years to be a goddamn millionaire. We can make that happen. We can make that happen, okay? I no longer want to survive. You know what? What happens is we get a little bit more glitz and glam than our parent generation, and we feel like we thriving. I am not. Now, God bless, I have all of my needs are met. All of my needs are met, okay? But there's a bunch of wants that are not met. And I put wants in the thriving. That's in the thriving category, okay? My needs being met means that all I've been doing is meeting the baseline of life. Yeah, I'm surviving. I am surviving, but I don't want to just survive. God damn it, I'm trying to thrive. I want to be financially free. Back to what I said, I want to do what I want, when I want it, how I want to do it. Copy, paste, repeat every single time, okay? I want to be the rich auntie, even though I'm somebody's mommy, okay? So back to that generational wealth idea. God damn it, I want my nephew to be able to call me and be like, oh, auntie, I want a pair of shoes. You got that. You got that, nephew. I got you. I want to be able to flip bills. You feel what I'm saying? I want to take my friends out to dinner. I want to rent a yacht. Okay? I want to rent a yacht. Tell my people, y'all, I got a yacht. You feel what I'm saying? Fly to Miami. I got the yacht. I want to do those type of things, okay? For my family and for my friends. Ultimately, I want to be able to cut the check for my family. If there is a need, I want to be the person that can provide that need for my family. Hashtag cut the check. Hashtag cut the check. Hashtag cut the check. Okay. More than anything on this wealth building journey, I want to be transparent because I feel like we need more transparency when it comes to this idea of building wealth, when it comes to this idea of making money. It's not about pretending that you have it all figured out. It's about sharing what works and what doesn't. And I am learning and growing. Okay, so I don't know everything right now. I know a little bit. I know a little bit of a lot of things. And now I am pushing myself to actually know more about a few things, because I think that that's going to put me in a better position to be successful in terms of this wealth building journey that I'm on. So what steps am I taking to get there? Like I said, first things first, the building blocks to wealth is we're going to get our emergency savings right. Okay. So that is the first step. First step is I want my emergency savings right. I don't know. What is your first step? Your first step might be getting rid of debt. So before you start putting money away, you put money on those bills that you owe. Okay. So what is your first step? My first step is getting my emergency savings. The next thing that I'm doing is increasing my education. I'm a goddamn student right now. Okay. I am a student and I have very particular things I am looking to learn. So I am hyper focused on learning the tools of investment. So right now I'm finishing up a book called Girls That Invest. That is by Simran Kaur. And I've also invested. I spent $500 on a course through a former financial analyst. Her name is Ashley Fox. She runs a platform called Empify. And let's talk about that money being spent. So I had to make a decision that I do want to invest. I want to invest in my education. I want to invest in my learning, and I want to invest in my understanding. So I'm okay with spending money, but I'm not about to spend money on anybody. Okay. So I had to do my research. Do your research. All right. Do your research on all these people, on all these creators out there, because there is a bunch of people professing things and selling people dreams. Selling people dreams, really weighing on people who are in real need, and people are just throwing money at them, throwing money. So before you spend, really, really, really laser in and research the person that you're deciding to spend money with to ensure that that person is really going to help you. All right. So like I said, I've already invested $500. Honestly, I don't plan to invest no more dollars this year. Okay. I get a year worth of content. I get 2 boot camps and I'm good. I'm good there. Anything else that's coming my way is going to be education I'm picking up. But I am a student and I'm a traditional academic learner. So this is why I wanted to pay for a class. Maybe you are the person who can just pick up YouTube and just start Googling stuff and start educating yourself in that way. Me, I very much like a classroom setting. I like a classroom setting. Give me some homework. Give me some tasks to complete. I live for those type of things. So, again, the steps that I'm taking, education is key to this because I know that I'm going into a different lane that I'm not used to being in. So it is important for me to have the right type of education so I can equip myself with the right type of tools to really see this through. The big thing is accountability and discipline. Staying disciplined. In order for me to stay disciplined, what am I going to do? I am going to create very small and achievable goals. So for example, the emergency savings, a small and achievable goal that is totally something that I can do this year. We're talking about $11,000. People, okay? We can save with my income $11,000, okay? That means no more sneakers for a little while. We can do that. Another thing that I'm going to be doing is, in regards to my discipline, is, okay, one thing that I know that I like to spend money on is traveling. Oh, a girl will buy a plane ticket, okay? If I'm going to do anything, I'm going to buy a plane ticket, okay? And not even think twice, all right? We're not doing that this year. I've already decided I'm taking one vacation every quarter, okay? So that means 4 vacations this year. Hold me to that. Okay, even saying it out loud is a little bit scary. But right now, I'm saying 4 vacations this year. All right. And then again, I'm also looking for future investments. What are other ways for me to make money? I can only hope that one day one of these content platforms start cashing me out a check. I think last year ending on TikTok, I think I just screenshotted it. I think I made like $13. Shit, that $13 I didn't have before. I ain't never made money off of social media. I'm like, listen, I feel very proud of this $13, okay? Because I've never made money off of social media, and I did. But I'm trying to figure out other ways to make money. I have a business idea that I've already created an LLC for. What maybe property investments, other type of investments. Figure out how do I create these? What do they call it? Multiple streams of income. I want to be one of them. I want multiple streams of income. Let's say it together. We want multiple streams of income. So just to kind of wrap this up, wealth is a process. I posted a video and I shared in that video that I'm on a road to be a millionaire. And after I posted that video, I'm going to say maybe about a day or two later, I went back to it and I almost took it down. Why did I almost take it down? I almost took it down because immediately fear kicked in and immediately judgment kicked in. Judgment of myself and judgment what I think others might be thinking. Because I know the society that I live in. You put something out there, people think it's going to happen tomorrow, right? And people clocking you, right? But that's okay because that's helping to hold me accountable, hold me to task. But what we not going to do is rush Raven's journey. That's what we not gonna do. And so, like I said, I'm a pretty transparent person, and I plan to make this a series in my content where I come back and I really start to share what I'm learning, and also keep track of where we're going because, like I said, we're tracking expenses this year in a whole different type of way. Not only are we gonna track expenses, we're also gonna track our net worth, okay? And so really, I really hope to engage others in this process, and I want you to follow my journey. Help hold me accountable. Give me ideas. Give me tips and tricks. Pay me. Not Cash App me. Not my Cash App is in my bio. No, my Cash App is not in my bio. I am not one of those, okay? But not only do I want you to follow my journey, I want us to be in journey together. So what has your experiences been with creating wealth for your family? Do you have your emergency savings? What your emergency savings look like? How are you even saving money this year? Okay? Give us some tips and tricks in the comments. Who are some of the people that you're following? Who are people that you're listening to? Let's keep the conversation going. Let's have more. What struggles are you having? What challenges are you having when we're talking about this conversation with wealth, money? I'm very curious to know, what is the passive income people are making? I just told my mama, I said, I want multiple streams of income that is low effort and high reward. Low effort and high reward, okay? That's what I'm seeking out. But share your journey, share some comments, drop a comment, like, share, do all the things. But most importantly, I really want to create a community of support around this. So we're really helping each other. And sometimes it's good to be in community with somebody who's at the start, because it can be a bit intimidating for people who are kind of like already there. And it's really hard for you to kind of see yourself there, right? And so I'm hoping that somebody is seeing a little bit of themselves in me. And I'm hoping that I can see myself in one of y'all and we can help each other out, because I understand this is a collective movement. This movement towards building generational wealth for our community, it needs to be a collective experience. It is not an experience that I just want to have by myself. I'm letting y'all know that. I am not on this journey to be a millionaire alone. I'm not. I'm on this journey with us. So, yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of wraps it up. We'll put a button on this episode because I feel like I shared a lot. And what I want to end folks with this, that if we set our mind to doing it, we can do it. Peace and blessings, beautiful people. Okay, just for the folks who stay long enough to catch this blooper, know that today's setup taking me 37 minutes. Okay? Because why? I'm trying to get it right. Okay? I had a little t-shirt on that didn't quite work out. Okay? Our setup didn't quite work out today, but we in it to win it. All right. Are you guys ready?